Yes, people, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Touchlinefacts. First and foremost, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We just hit 1,000. Sorry, I'm sweating. I just had a run. We just hit 1,100 subscribers. So big up to each and every single one of you legends that have been supporting me along my journey. It's a big milestone. Road to 2,000 is well and truly upon us. And today I'm finally bringing my second episode of transfer predictions. I did an episode, I think, just over a month ago or something across those lines, and I haven't been able to stick to. Well, I haven't been able to stick to it. I just haven't stuck to it. Haven't done enough transfer prediction shows. I probably could have done at least 2 or 3 more minimum. But listen, we've got the second episode now. Let's get into it, straight into it. And today, I'm going to give you 3 transfer predictions that I believe will happen this upcoming. Well, not upcoming summer, it's currently right now, this current summer transfer window, starting off with that man to my, well, he's to my right, but yeah, left, whatever. That man, Marcus Rashford. Now, today, obviously, I've done a video on it, the breaking news. Florian Plettenberg dropped the news that Barcelona are going to try again for him, or want to try again for him. And we know Barcelona is his main priority. However, me personally, in my personal opinion, I believe he's going to go to Bayern Munich. I believe he'll end up at Bayern Munich. And I'll give you I won't say 3 I'll give you multiple reasons as to why. 1, Man United have been stubborn and not gonna just let him go out on loan for a low loan fee, and are not going to sell him for cheap. They want 40 million minimum for Marcus Rashford. Are Barcelona willing to pay that? We don't know. Barcelona have just been fined 15 million euros for breaking FFP UEFA rules. So they clearly don't have funds. They struggle to register players and stuff like that. They're trying to get him on loan, so they can put him as a loan. So as a low fee, and they don't really have to register that. It won't. You know, they just register it, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's not a proper signing. They're not really spending much money, so they wouldn't have much trouble with that. And secondly, his wage bill, whether he, if he wants to lower his wage bill for Barcelona, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. However, I feel like that's a massive factor as to why he won't go Barcelona, because of their money situation and the fact they're broke. I know Barcelona fans were saying that they got the 1-to-1 rule and all this stuff, etc., etc. However, for me, no, I don't. They're still very clearly in money problems, if you ask me. And another reason as to why Bayern Munich are absolutely desperate for a left winger, or just people in the forward line, to be honest, in the 4 positions. Yeah, as I was saying, they're quite they're desperate, aren't they? Obviously, they lost Leroy Sané, who they wanted to keep. They wanted Florian Wirtz. Everyone knows they've been in the market for a left winger since Florian Wirtz rejected them. They've tried to get Leao, but too expensive. They tried to get Barcola, rejected. They tried to get Nico Williams, rejected. They wanted Luis Diaz. I don't believe Liverpool were willing to sell him, and also Liverpool's asking price is quite high. And they wanted Jamie Gittins. He went to Chelsea. And it's clearly that they did want a left winger to replace Leroy Sané and maybe to play as well as Leroy Sané. And now, obviously, the tragic news, obviously, Jamal Musiala's injury, that's going to set him out for probably about 5 to 6 months, something along those lines. So it looks like, they're more than ever desperate for at least maybe potentially 2 attackers. And Marcus Rashford can play on the left wing. He can play up front as well. And he would actually be a very good signing for them in terms of their league. He would cook in that league, a lot of space. A lot of space in behind and stuff like that, with Musiala when he's back, Harry Kane dropping deep, Elise creating for him. I feel like Rashford's definitely going to bag a lot of goals in that team with the way they play and stuff like that. And I feel like, yeah, that's another reason. And yeah, mainly because I just feel like Bayern Munich have got money, Barcelona don't. And I feel like Barcelona being cheapskates this summer, and well, rightfully so, because they can't seem to register anyone. And last year they signed 1 player in Dani Olmo, and it took them 6 months to register him. But they were allowed those 6 months, and he was playing in those 6 months. Nothing dodgy about that whatsoever. And yeah, those are my reasons as to why I believe Marcus Rashford will be a Bayern Munich player come the end of the window. I believe they'll sign him on a permanent basis. I don't believe we're going to get a loan fee for him. I don't believe we're going to lower our price, and I don't believe Barcelona are willing to pay those prices. You can sit there and say Barcelona don't need him. I agree, Barcelona don't need him. Bayern Munich do, and that's another reason as to why I think Bayern Munich will try and get this deal done. And if Barcelona don't go in for him, I mean, he has no other option but to go Bayern Munich. Like, that's the second best choice for him. You know what I'm saying? You could argue it's a better choice, but it's definitely the second best choice. You know what I mean? Type thing. So, yeah. But my second transfer prediction of the window is one that I've already done, but I'm going to double down on it now. Rodrygo to Arsenal. Hear me out. I'm going to do a video tomorrow discussing something because I've been thinking about Arsenal recently. I made I think it was yesterday, I done like a thought about like with them getting Zubimendi, with them potentially they want Eze to play in midfield. I've been thinking that maybe they're potentially trying to change formation, changing to a 10 and a pivot and have Rice and Zubimendi as a pivot and have a 10 in Eze or Odegaard or potentially Rodrygo as well. If Eze is going to be a realistic or actual proper midfield option, because I don't believe he can play attacking 8. However, I said this at the start of the window. Rodrygo to Arsenal, Saliba to Real Madrid, swap deal. I think I might change my mind. I actually don't think Real Madrid are going to go in for Saliba. I think they may wait potentially for him to run out his deal because I don't think he's going to sign a new deal. But that's still 2 years away. I don't think that's going to happen. I believe we know Rodrygo's out of favour at Real Madrid. Even Xabi Alonso don't rate him, but don't want him. Xabi Alonso's playing Gonzalo Garcia, which is something you don't really ever see. Real Madrid don't really play players from the academy. Xabi Alonso's playing Gonzalo Garcia instead of him in the Club World Cup, and Gonzalo Garcia is balling out in the World Cup. We know Rodrygo, wants to go somewhere where he can, probably play consistently week out, but also week in, week out in his actual position on the left. You know what I mean? Type thing. So I feel like he's going to leave, and I feel like there's only 2 destinations he could potentially go to: Bayern Munich, which I spoke about Rashford, but I feel like Rashford's going to go there instead, and Arsenal Football Club. I cannot see another football club paying the money or being able to lure him in. I don't see Chelsea going in for him, for example. I remember they're going for him. I don't think they'll be able to lure him in purely based on the fact they've got so many players there already, and I don't see them breaking the bank to get him in. Whereas I see Arsenal being able to break the bank for him. He actually suits Arteta as well because he actually does the defensive work. He's one of those high-profile players that does do defensive work, and I feel like if he plays left wing for Arsenal, that will send them up a new dimension. That's exactly what they need. A problem solver player that can produce something out of nothing. That type of player. That's what Rodrygo is. And yeah, I think he's going to leave Real Madrid. I think he's set in stone now. I feel like after this Club World Cup, we've seen that he's not really favoured by Xabi Alonso. And the club probably, I don't know if I don't know what Real Madrid's finances are saying. But yeah, I reckon that this deal will get done. And I reckon it'd probably be on like 300 bags a week, £90 million, something across those lines. I think it's obvious he's leaving. In my personal opinion, that's what I think. I think it's obvious he's leaving. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. My third and final transfer prediction, and this one I think is going to happen late in the window. I think this might happen near enough deadline day, is Emiliano Martinez to Manchester United. Hear me out. Obviously, we know that Ben Jacobs said he's willing to say yes. He's ready to say yes to Man United. His agent wants to go. His agent said, as bespoke to Man United, he basically wants the Man United move. Villa want to sell. And Man United just need to get the funds together before we can actually go in and get to their goalkeeper. And hear me out. He's suspended for the first 3 Premier League games of the season. Why? If there's no competition for him, which we haven't seen anyone else go in for him or there's no competition for him, why would we wait? You know what? Why would we wait? No, that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't we wait? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't we wait until the second game we've got something across those lines and then buy him? When we've got more funds, when we've sold players, when we've, freed up the wage bill and stuff like that, when he's already suspended for the first 3 games anyways, why wouldn't we? I believe we're going to get this deal done. I believe we're going to get this deal done around deadline day. You know how we got Ugarte quite late in the summer last window? We had to sell Scott McTominay. I think we had to sell another player as well. I could be wrong. We had to sell Scott McTominay and someone else. And we ended up getting Ugarte at the end of the window. That's what I personally believe will happen with Emiliano Martinez. I believe it will sell out. I don't think it'll be Onana. I think Onana will be on the bench. £120,000 a week is not that much to just sit on the bench. It's not that deep. I understand he won't play that much because he's a backup goalkeeper. However, £120,000 a week is not that much for a football club, shall I say. Shall I add that in? And yeah, I feel like we will get this deal done quite late in the window. Personally, yeah. It's a great deal for me. It's a massive upgrade. £40 million, £30 million around that price. Villa are probably going to try to scam an extra 5-10 million out of it if they can. They're desperate for money, a bit like us as well, to be honest, but they're not the only ones. FFP and debt and all that stuff is crippling us all. But yeah, I personally think we're going to get this deal done. And a bit like, a bit like everyone there. They all want to leave. You know what I'm saying? They all want to leave. They want to try something new. Well, Rashford probably doesn't want to leave, but United want to get rid of him, etc., etc. So yeah, and I feel like this deal. I feel like if out of the three I've just done, let me know what you lot think is the most realistic. I think I would actually say Rashford to Bayern is most realistic. However, he could also go to Barca. Rodrygo could also go Bayern. If Rodrygo is Bayern, Rashford's probably not going to go Bayern. And then, Rashford could go Barca, Rodrygo could go Bayern. And then maybe, Martinez is the only one that gets done. But as I say, it's a prediction. I am open to getting predictions wrong. It's not that deep. Let me know what you lot think in the comments. Do you like this series? Should I do some more of it? And yeah, subscribe if you're new. Hit the video. All that good stuff. Cheers, legends. Bash.